What's going on, B1 family? It's been a long time. I should have left you with some content to step two. But I did. Just a little bit of transparency. So looks like the family's moving to Memphis, Tennessee. We were up there. Check out some places to live. Tennessee feels different and familiar at the same time. What? Not Tennessee, but Memphis itself feels different and familiar at the same time. Guys know Fort Worth. I've lived in Dallas, lived in Garland. Um, I know the city over, HEB, Houston. Houston, Hurst, Euless, Bedford, Irving, Grand Prairie, Arlington, um, small places like Everman, just all over. Forest Hill, Crowley, Burleson, just all over the Metroplex. And can't forget, there's Triple D, Dallas, Duncanville, DeSoto. Shout out to y'all. So, we went up there, it's family, checked places out. It was cold, but the cold at the same temperature as cold here at Fort Worth felt different. Right, it felt different. It didn't feel as cold as Fort Worth. Like Fort Worth cold felt like it was chilling you to the bone, like you just being marinated in cold until the temperatures start to drop. Now, don't get it twisted. When the temperatures start to drop and that little freeze, little wintry mix and all that stuff started coming through and start, man, it was like, whew, that hawk was out. So it's just an opportunity that presents itself. So, just letting you guys know, I will still be doing videos. I'll probably do either two 1 hour videos or one 2 to 3 hour video and drop it on the weekend. And it'll be like every Saturday thing, something like that, or every Saturday, Sunday thing. When I get to work, because I'm gonna be working, I won't have a lot of time to dedicate to doing this like I used to, getting the clips together, time to record it, edit it, make sure it's concise, make sure it makes sense. So there's a lot of things I won't be able to participate in actively that way. However, I will be, going through black owned companies, new ones I've come across and buying their products and stuff like that. So I'm trying to include that in those videos. So I just want to be upfront with the family, let you guys know what's going on. Man, it's a great opportunity. Take care of my family financially, and it's a new start, new beginning. It's kind of like whoa on one hand, and it's like yo on the other hand. It's like yo and whoa same time. So it's a little bit of nervousness and a little bit of excitement mixed in. So, and I'm gonna say this: just if you get an opportunity to go and do something different, make sure my phone's off real quick, family. Yep, do something different, and that's gonna put your family in the right trajectory. Do it. Now I'm not gonna be staying in Memphis. I know some of you saying, no, no, don't move into Memphis, bro. You all I got a homie from church I grew up with. He lived in Fort Worth with me. He's been living in Memphis for I think said 10 to 15 years, maybe 14 years. But he's already told me to stay in like Lakeland, Oakland, Cordova, Collierville, Bartlett, in certain parts of all those places. So I've been put on game, and that's what we did. We stuck to the plan. We didn't try to deviate and outsmart nobody. If somebody knows they got a good rapport with you and they put you on game, take the advice. So did that. We didn't see nothing crazy down there. I will say, for those who only know Memphis or their barbecue, we didn't even get a chance to try the barbecue. Try the wings. Try the wings. Go to the one on Austin P. Go to Dixie Queens on Austin P. My dude, Slim got fades. In fact, I'm gonna pull up when I shout out to black owned companies and start this video in a second. I'm pulling him up because he is a barber. You can check him out. He told us about Dixie Queens and a couple other places for some wings. It's like bet. And he said that specifically the one on Austin P. So we went to the one off Austin P, drive through only. He was like, man, that's kind of, it's in the hood, which But it was midday, so it didn't look as bad. It looked like hood, like I'm, expecting hood to look like if you're from Fort Worth. Um, I would say, over there, 76103 off of off Riverside, that type of hood, looking like crazy over there. It didn't look like that, so um, now I didn't, take no chance to try to sit around and look and see, how bad is it really? Nah, I'm not goofy. Like, I'm 40 something years old. I ain't got time for trying to prove myself to nothing, to nobody, except them kids in the black family. All right, so had the wings. I had the hot honey. The wife had the sweet chili. The kids had the barbecue, and we tried the lemon pepper. The only ones we didn't try were the seasoned wings and the hot wings, but they were good. The fries weren't cooked, but the wings were on point. So if you're going over there, just recommend they cook your fries a little bit longer. Request it and try them wings. The wings were on point. So Memphis, y'all got some good wings. So let's shout out some black-owned companies. Here this morning, let's go to IG. Real quick, internet running a little slow. What side am I on? That's all I'm trying to do. Y'all know how this goes. Switch accounts. Let's go. This account. That's on my R&B / rap side. I do have music out, family. Those want to know. One second, family. Somebody texted me something. I was like, I don't think they texted the wrong person. And I want to make sure they did, if they're trying to get information over somebody. I know it is somebody. Man, I was trying to get to the other Victor, or the other Mike, or the other Junior, or whatever. Uh, you know what? This is what I'll do. I'm going to, because I don't want to make this video too long. I'm gonna go to this page here. Slim got fades. Slim _got _fades. Screenshot.
I tell my story. Cruising through in that black on black with my family. Bending corners, triple tinted with hella bead. Before then, I didn't think this could ever be. Blowing up hella smart, but moving aimlessly. I remember when I used to get painted by name brand sneaks. They would clown me for the payless I had on my feet. Now it's Italian handmade between my soles and the concrete. Don't trip, I ain't stunting on your little buddy, but grown man moves have you counting up different money. Yeah, and I'ma ride for the lot. My bros got my back and we running up our stocks. Y'all chasing ain't even got a car, but a PlayStation 5 and you stay at the mall.
And then we're gonna put a video up. Do a small screen record. Okay, I'll download this video. All right, bet. We're gonna download it without the audio, and we'll do it that way, family. And I'll just cut it in after this part right here, or before it, or over it. Or he hooking somebody up. But yeah, so shout out to that brother. That's a black man you can support and show some love to, man. If you're in the Memphis area, go get trimmed up, get crispy by him, and yeah. Do I have any other black-owned companies other than mine? Flame on the Performance that I can show you guys. Um, get your roll on. Get your roll on. I'll also screenshot them and take a video off their IG as well.
Why don't you come in, baby? I'ma treat you like a lady and take some time to vibe. Need something like a vibe, me and you, we can slide, cause you got just what I need. Reality meet my dreams and
it's a black-owned company. They do rolls, but they do like soul rolls. They do um, was it not sweet potato pie, but it was like peach cobbler rolls. This sister does all kind of egg rolls that are delicious. I've had them a couple times. I actually got that on the channel, so I'll put cards up off the chain. If you're in Dallas, I'm all the address and all the information that'll be listed in like the comments and description. Head over there and get you a 3-pack. You will not regret it. I promise you. Always fresh, always hot. And the place that it's in, it's a little different. It's like not like a traditional restaurant. You go in, you go to a digital kiosk, you put in your order, and everybody, like all the people who cooking, they all got their little section in the back that they cook in. You can't see them, but everything gets brought up to one area where there's like a cash, not a cashier, but a like a pickup, where it's like the pickup window. You go to the pickup window, you get your food, or they'll have lockers, and you do it that way. So you can do it on, I think, on the app or the site. You most definitely can do it on at the site on the digital kiosk. It is worth it, family. If you ever in Dallas, head over to get your roll on off the chain. All right, so let's get into this. Now this time, you guys know I usually take the clips and kind of put them in order. I'd say, you know what? Let's just let it roll. We're gonna take the clips, put it on here, and whatever order it in, that's how we're gonna address this, how we're gonna handle it.
I don't agree with everything Trump is doing, but he's definitely freed up about 10 good jobs, okay? So if you're African American in the DMV area, there's no reason you shouldn't be doing DoorDash. There's no reason you shouldn't be outside of U-Haul. There's no reason you shouldn't be outside of Lowe's and Home Depot. There's no reason you shouldn't be outside the self-storage place. There's no reason you shouldn't be going to these cleaning service companies looking for work, okay? As you can see, the scooter boys ain't been out there. As you can see, Home Depot and all these places been bone dry empty. Come on, you need some extra money? You gotta get out there. Get in the
Is she wrong? Is she wrong? I talked about this before. The trades, the uh the delivery and pickup jobs, like, is there any excuse anymore? It's not. And we know there's some Negroes who are lazy, but for the most part, Black Americans will work. Even I'll be looking at, extra work and extra side jobs, like, how can I make a little extra money on the side? Yada yada, what the woo. So no, no, family, do not let these opportunities pass us by. The window has reopened. I know some of you are a little nervous, or maybe even a little concerned, like, man, is this gonna work out? Am I gonna be, it's gonna be a great situation? I'm gonna be able to really make this work? Man, look, try it. I know sometimes we get stuck in a rut, and it's easy to just like, man, I ain't gonna put myself out there. Put yourself out there, man. We drove 7 hours one way, 8 hours back, which is crazy. Usually it's faster coming back. 7 hours one way, 8 hours back, 15 hours total driving time for an opportunity in a place that we don't know personally, that we're not comfortable with. Stop trying to be comfortable, because comfortable and complacency start with the same letter. And being comfortable can lead to complacency, which can lead to you being stuck in the past, and like staying stuck in that point in time, which eventually have you stuck in the past. All right, if you look at all your homies and your homegirls, like, why they keep moving forward? Because they're not comfortable. So they can't get complacent. When you're never comfortable, you can't be complacent. Now, there can be an argument for a balance of being comfortable and not being complacent, but that's on a different video. We're just talking about this right here.
field the same way they do. We need to do it.
I love it. I love it. Shout out to the sister.
People in the US always say to me, you live in Mexico, but you sure enjoy the benefits of being a US citizen. And I genuinely ask myself, what benefits? USA doesn't have free healthcare. USA doesn't have free college. USA doesn't have paternity or maternity leave. USA doesn't have universal pension. USA is one of the only 3 countries in the entire world that taxes you on your worldwide income. What benefits? If I want to go to school here in Mexico, I can go for free because I'm a Mexican citizen. I will never go to a US doctor. Every time I go to the doctor, I go here in Mexico and it's always free, and I'm grateful. I don't have a US retirement account. I live in Mexico. I work in Mexico. I make Mexican money. I'm fine. So please tell me, what benefits do you have as US citizens? Because I see all you guys living paycheck to paycheck and complaining about prices nonstop.
For him to be a Mexican citizen, where's his accent? Now, granted, Different regions have different accents. We know that. Like if you take our brothers and sisters in New Orleans, shout out to the boot. New Orleans folk and Shreveport folk don't have the same accent. New Roads, Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, Ruston, everywhere in between, the accent tends to change and vary. Even though, and here's the thing, even though inside of New Orleans, everybody from New Orleans don't have that baby, don't have that that accent. Everybody want to hear, who say baby, Earl Furl, Burl, and I know I'm butchering family. Don't come for me. Everybody in New Orleans don't have that same accent. They don't have the same accent. That really deep New Orleans accent that we associate with New Orleans. Lil Wayne don't talk like that. He does have an accent, but he don't sound like that. He don't sound like Juvie. Juvie don't sound like Turk. Turk don't sound like BG. He don't sound like Baby. So forth. And I'm using, Master P. Uh who else? His brother Silk the Shocker. They all have slightly different accents from one another. All in New Orleans. So I get that. But he don't sound like nothing Latino or Hispanic or whatever. So it sounds like you grew up in the US and went and got your Mexican citizenship. And you're talking about paycheck to paycheck. Of course your money is expanding. I'm making Mexican money. Are you really making Mexican money? Or do you use your US money to put you on and get you a really nice house or a really nice place inside of Mexico, and so now it's paid off. Or I don't know if they do taxes like U.S. does taxes every year on property, and you just kind of living really good high off the hog because your U.S. money paved the way. And if that's the case, if all that's going on, that's great. Why are you even concerned about what anybody's doing over here? Why are you even posting content to address the U.S. when everything's so good in Mexico? It's like a hit dog to me.
thought you guys were rich. What's going on? And before you guys say, oh, well, why don't you go renounce your U.S. citizenship? Guys, it costs $2,500 to renounce your citizenship, to even get the process started. And even then, they might deny it.
So yeah, so he's U.S. citizen, went and got his Mexican citizenship. U.S. money super stretches over there. So I bought a digital file to 3D print something, and I'm using this as an example. Philippines, $100. He's like, man, it's $100, U.S. which then the Philippines. So it converted. I used PayPal. It converted over. That was like 5,500 Filipino dollars. 5,500, $100 converted to 5,500 in the Philippines, family. So yeah, if you down there, hold on, let's look that up. Y'all know how I do, our family. Y'all know I try to stay off these tangents. USD to Mexican peso. $1. Let's say you make 50 grand a year. Family, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. So that's the 804. So boom. 1,000,000 19,804 19,804 and 60 pesos. As you make 50 grand a year. Fam, so this guy's full of it. He's full of it. He's full of it, man. You enjoying American benefits, American pay, and taking it and stretching it to the extreme by 20. We see it by 20 in Mexico. Hush, shut up. Shut up. Nobody likes you. Shut
USA is
up.
trying to tax you even if you want to leave, bro. But there you have it, guys.
And he talking about how well he was living. $2,300. You should have that, right? Right? Shouldn't he have 2,350? He ain't trying to leave him. Man, he ain't trying to lose access to the U.S. All your cousins running over here. Man, shut up. Even after they get kicked out. Remember the guy that was let the, remember the guy that let the cartel? He linked up with the cartel. They got him paperwork. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you. It was 1 week out. I'll be back. He had to. I got a new ID, new paperwork, green card, and all this stuff. Man, shut up, bro.
Another benefit of being a dual citizen. In reality, guys, what benefits does being a U.S. citizen give you? But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
Your teeth wouldn't look like that if you were a U.S. citizen. Oh, family. This is now sex. I know this is a little bit old. You know, y'all know they kind of died down. This is the height. That was as much as it was going to be.
Woke was turned into.
That was as much as it was going to be, the whole protest thing. And yeah, I saw some videos with some Negroes out there. And it came from some Hebrew Israelite sites. Some Hebrew Israelite pages. Like that one dude in one of the last couple videos I did. Talking, man, if you black, the brown and this, that, and other. And he had the cape on strong. I'm like, dang, bro. It's got you a Latina girlfriend. You got a hankering for some sopapillas? You you hungry for some tacos, my guy? Some chalupas, some fritos. That's what you want. Some horchata, which is actually indigenous to Africa. But it is what it is. Shout out to, hold on, let's get this all the way through right here.
Woke was turned into a pejorative, meaning black. Critical race theory was turned into a pejorative, meaning black. Now DEI has been turned into a pejorative, meaning black. I have not heard this many coded N-words coming from podiums in my life.
He's right. And we know that. That's the thing about it. We don't disillusion ourselves and say, they're not talking about us. They can't be. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. It's what they did when I forgot what the cat name was. He was part of he's part of the political machine in the days of Reagan. And they were like, hey, you can't use nigga, nigga, nigga. That's taboo now. You got to use these terms. And then once they call them to, we call them to those terms, we're like, yeah, you talking about us. Oh, shoot. Well, we can't say that no more. Now you got to say, redlining, busing, or disenfranchised community. You got to change the wording of it. Everything has to be code words. And they haven't stopped, and they're not going to stop. That's why we always keep seeing these acronyms come out. And it was like, what is this new thing that got going on? When was that? Well, we can't say the things we said last time because y'all are catching on. And we catch on faster now because we're paying attention. We're not disillusioned by nothing. We're not excited to be around people in the political space and let them make us feel good. No, we want tangible benefits. And when you go in with a business mindset saying, I want something specific from you, as you're trying to get something specific from me, which is my vote, let's do business. It's like, and when you hear them talking coded language, it's like, oh no, I know what you're saying. I read between, my dad used to say this to me all the time. Son, I can really read between the lines of the shorthand. You know what I'm saying? I can, you read between the lines of the shorthand. So now when we hear these things, it's not, and you see he's an older kid. Well, I don't know how much older he is, but that full gray beard. Now when we hear it, it's like, yeah, we like, bro, you talking about us. We know what you're talking about. Oh, damn. Yeah, yeah. How about this? That benign neglect, especially Democrats, because y'all looking goofy out here. Quit doing that. Come up with some tangible benefits, like we say. Quit trying to do this coded language mess. Where you're saying enslaved Africans. We hear you. We not. It's no longer well, I guess that means us. We know they don't mean us because we told you the language we want to hear.
Don't worry about it. The immigrants will do it. That's why the border's open. They're going to come over here. They're going to steal all the jobs and fill the gap that we have for skilled labor. Let me tell you why I am so sick of seeing that comment and why it's so ignorant. It takes decades for people in skilled trades to become an expert in their field. To insinuate that somebody can just walk in from a poor and desperate situation and do what they do every day is not only insulting, but it is so ignorant and lacks so much foresight that I am confident that if you have that opinion, AI is coming for your job first. And when that happens, Just remember this: people in the construction industry, the pros, are going to be stacking money in their bank account.
So he's not lying. Anybody that's in a trade, comment below. If you are a trade worker, welding, plumbing, carpentry, electrician, um, electrician, ah, welding, plumbing, carpentry, electrician. Uh, so it's not all these. You know who you are. If you are a tradesman, you have a skilled trade. Image service, all right, image servicing, image specialist, or uh, CSC, ISE or CSE, where you work on a specialized piece of equipment. Like you have to go get specific training for that particular item you're working on. Comment below and how long you've been doing it. All right, HVAC. HVAC. I'm sorry. Sorry guys. Don't be mad at me. All right, because we need HVAC, especially with as cold as it is right now here in Texas. It feels like 3 degrees outside. Man, y'all can keep that nonsense. Thank you. Thank God for the HVAC. To be competent in all this stuff, it takes years. You're not even a journeyman for what, 2 years, family? Unless it's more. I know it's at least 2 years. You have to have so many work hours. Like you can do it in 2 years if you put the work hours in. But you have to have, I think it's 5,500 work hours. And I'm gonna do this for the young men who are trying to come up and get your money. I'm gonna let you know, young man, you can go to college and all this stuff. That's cool. You're probably gonna incur school loans. But if you get into a trade, especially you work through a company, you're gonna have to spend some time there with that company because they're paying for your schooling. However, once you put in, 3, 4, 5 years post schooling and all that stuff, you could take that trade anywhere in the US and make good money. All right. Let me work hours as a helper before you can be a journeyman. I shorted you guys. I'm sorry. To become a journeyman in most trades, you typically need to complete between 8,000 and 10,000 hours of work as an apprentice under the supervision of a licensed journeyman, which is considered helper time before achieving journeyman status. You got to put time in. You got to put time in. That's right, fam. Like I told you when me and my wife were still separated and the AC was out here, Buddy couldn't speak a lick of English. Steady trying to fix what two things. He's supposed to have been a handyman. He was out there working on the AC unit for the wrong daggum apartment because he was illiterate. One, if you are a journeyman, you can't even get into apprenticeship without being illiterate. You gotta be able to read. You got because there's measurements involved. If you're cutting pipe, there's measurements involved. If you're welding, you need to know what material you're welding. There's reading involved. This I'm not gonna get frustrated. This BS idea of that you can just throw somebody in place of someone who has put in hours just to become journeyman, thousands upon thousands of hours to get to a journeyman status, and you still got to take your test, is asinine at best. Like you can't. That's like somebody saying, "Hey, look, we're finna get somebody come in and be this neurosurgeon for you. You have a special case. We need a top level neurosurgeon, and it's gonna cost $5,000 an hour, and it's 10-hour surgery." It's like, shoot, I already got it like that. Or we can get you this dude from across the border. We don't know who he is, but he said he can do it for 500 an hour. You finna do that? Are you finna take? He gonna have you drooling out your eye. You gonna be drooling out your eye, scratching yourself at the same time. Like, so what you talking about? Gonna mess everything up in your head. When you get to the people who charge the most, they're not charging you for their time per se, more so for what they know. You're like, dang, that took you 10 minutes to do, and you're charging me $1,000 for 10 minutes? Yeah, because I'm charging you for 20 years of knowledge. You can get the other guy, but he's probably gonna charge you $3,000 for several hours. Yeah, he put several hours work in, and he did a lot of stuff. He's probably gonna tear up more than he's gonna fix because he doesn't have the experience. So, family, anybody with any type of skill trade, with the nurses, anybody with any type of skill, put your name down there. Let us know how long you've been doing it, so we can aggregate our numbers and show. And also, you can see if there's somebody there that knows something and you want to ask some questions. Let's do that for one another. If anybody got any questions about the imaging for me, I'm talking about CT, MRI, cath lab. And when I say this, now anything I say outside of CT, I'm gonna give you the best answer I can. I'm a CT guy, but MRI, cath lab, X-ray, ultrasound, etc. Ask me, and I'll try to point you in the right direction as far as that. But if you ask me something about CT, I'm pretty sure I can answer your question right on the spot. So, yeah, fam, don't let nobody hit you with that BS. It'll be all right. No, it's not. I don't want you coming there changing nothing in my house regarding plumbing, electricity, or HVAC if you are not licensed and don't have any experience.
You remember that Black Hawk that crashed into an American Airlines flight last night? We'll have the call sign PAT 25. PAT means Priority Air Transport. And that's only used for senior U.S. officials. They're saying there were no senior U.S. officials on board and it was only a training accident. That's the equivalent of saying an Abrams tank happens to go on the freeway and just kill 60 people because, oh, whoops, it was a training accident. We don't know how we got here. How do you not know that you just flew into a fucking airport, into a landing strip? How do you not know that? In a military helicopter with state-of-the-art technology, state-of-the-art radar, plus you got air traffic control. Guys, it's not one thing that had to go wrong here. It's either 50 things that went wrong or everything went right. And even Donald Trump is skeptical. He made a tweet about this. He's saying something doesn't add up. Very weird. Something seems wrong. Doesn't make sense. What do you think?
Of course, that's pretty old, and I hate to qualify like that. So much is happening in this country every day. We got black folks still getting alive. We got fires happening, planes falling. So much is going on in this country every day. Detroit, right now, Detroit, 54-inch main water main busted, flooded the neighborhood, and now cars and trucks being frozen up to the hood of the trucks. Cars, you're going to see the roof of the cars. Like, so much craziness is happening in this country right now. So, with that, family, do you think he's on to something? Are you guys skeptical? Let me know.
Correspondent from the Daily News in Washington writes, "It is utterly impossible for any race on the face of the earth to suffer greater wrongs at the hands of the whites than Negroes meet within our southern states. It would shock the whole civilized world if half the truth could be made known. The Negro that was burnt in Texas on May 22nd was tortured in the most barbarous manner. Before the fire kindled underneath them, his eyes were burnt out. Burning wood was held to his neck and other parts of his body until his clothing was burnt off. He was gashed with knives and tortured until his head drooped. Then a fire was started by the husband of the woman who claimed that the Negro had assaulted her. The poor wretch's sufferings were horrible. While he begged profusely, 'Please, Mr. White Man, shoot me.' There were several thousand persons present. Some newspapers say 7,000. The whites clamored for the torture to be prolonged, but they were ended by the death of the victim in 35 minutes. 6 other Negroes have been burnt within a few months. They were similarly tortured. These lynching picnics are becoming common. What can be the effect of taking children to such scenes of cruelty? The suffering of Negroes in isolated convict camps in the South are also terrible. A friend of mine living not far from these camps informed me that one convict had been put to death with a red-hot iron. There's more. I can keep going. Like, this is 1902. This made the newspaper in London. Or, yes, in London.
For anybody telling you they suffered just as much as we did, that's a lie. That's just the suffering of the ones who were killed. Think about the trauma, the ongoing trauma of those who kept witnessing these things, those who will fight back and be captured to be killed, those who watched those who fought back and thought there was a glimmer of hope. Oh wow, maybe we can do this. It was going to go pick up something just to see everything be thwarted and know that tomorrow they're gonna have to go back and pick cotton or whatever crop that's on that plantation, sugar cane, corn, whatever. Our claim for reparations, which is a term we're gonna start using less publicly. Our claim for receiving what the Jews receive, what the Native Americans, the red natives receive, are well beyond justified and are not a handout. It is something that is deserved. It is justice, reparative justice, and we're going to get it.
Download all the information relating to Indigenous and Black American people off the Library of Congress website. Save as much information as you can or what your phone or computer allows you to do so. And if you got some change to spare, get what they call it? A memory stick. Yeah, I have to go old school for a second. Get a memory stick and save everything from there as much as you can. Because if you are trying to do your genealogy, it's going to be very hard for you. When you go on there one day and they deleted a lot of stuff pertaining to Indigenous and Black American ancestry, history, genealogy, etc. Go ahead and do it. Do not wait.
I most definitely can agree to that. We know they're not opposed to deleting any information. They didn't tell us about the truth about what happened during slavery. That there was always y'all was just getting beaten, you were downtrodden, and one day we just said, you know what, this is wrong. Let them loose. No, we found out through Hidden Color. Shout out to the Hidden Color series. We got Buck through American Maroon. You know, which also I got. We got Buck. We were fighting. We were fighting constantly. There was a lot of fighting we were doing. There was a lot of wins we achieved. We won on the field of battle. We won in mentions. We won just all around in life, despite being the minority, number wise. Despite having all kind of laws and regulations set upon us to keep us from thriving, we kept winning. So yes, I can agree with that, sister. Get that ish now. Get you a little. If you won't have you don't want to get a memory stick because it's too old school. Get you an SD card, full size one. See if I got my little memory, my little doohickey, my little case up here. I don't think I got it up here, family. I usually keep it next to the computer. But let me show you. I'll just show you. Get one of these off Amazon. Most of your laptops come with these are micro SD cards. They usually come with an adapter to get you one like this. Make sure it has good read and write speed. The higher the read and write speed, the less likely you are to have a what they call it, corrupted data. The less likely you have the corrupted data because it goes on and off fast. And when it's really slow and stuff like that, that's when you can run into problems with your data. End up having corrupted data. You don't want to have corrupted data. So if you want to have this, you can do that. Um, I like 5 terabyte backup. Western Digital. I have one of these. You see, I bought it in 2021. I still use it. It's great. You can once you do everything on the SD card, you get one of these as well. Back up your whole computer, and it backs up how you got everything on your computer. So let's say something happened to your computer, whether it's a MacBook or PC, laptop, whatever you're using. You put it on, it takes a while, it's flashing, you can hear it running, it's backing up everything the way it's set on your computer, and it puts it under a folder and a date. So that's just even more backup for that data, more backup for the information. Anything happen, plug it back in. Once you get your computer back set up, take it off, print it all up again, and boom, can't nobody hit you with the okey doke. So, family, make sure you take care of that. And I got to do it myself.
I have been prepping for about 3 years now, and I have acquired quite a few things. I've been getting ready for those natural disasters, economic disasters, political disasters. We stocked up on a lot of the short-term foods that you might use within 2-3 month period. Stocked up on your freezer foods, things you can store for a couple of years and don't have to worry about it. We've stocked up on home defense, family defense, self-defense. We got a lot of things that a lot of people just don't think about. A lot of times, a lot of people think it's pretty extreme. It certainly don't hurt to be ready for anything. You never know when your local water system's going to get contaminated. Even if you're on well water, something could spill and contaminate the groundwater. And having that long-term food for when you have to hunker down for a long time really helps. We have solar generators, we have backup batteries, we have solar panels, and we have power inverters. Plenty of toilet paper to combat that toilet paper shortage. Packing food away in Mylar is definitely something we did a lot of. Having go bags ready to go just in case you do have to go, it's also a definite thing you should be doing. Alternative ways to filter water is also a good thing. Stacking up on sriracha, most definitely.
Okay, the last part was comical. Some of you gonna see this and say, "Ah, that's crazy. That's crazy." It's always crazy till something goes bad. Remember what happened to this country, 2020? We found out we was getting locked down. We was about to get locked down. No, it's COVID. And for some reason, out of all the things to buy up at the stores, everybody bought up toilet paper. How soon we forget that everybody bought up paper at all the stuff, not the food, paper. I don't know why, but being ready, it doesn't hurt. Even if you just get a little bit, let me just a little bit of time. You see, that's 3 years. And I think they probably live somewhere northeast, Midwest to northeast, because they have a basement. So, and usually that's where you get a basement. I think in the Carolinas and stuff like that, they have basements as well. So if you got a little extra room, instead of putting trinkets and toys and stuff, that's it's whatever. Like when if things shut down, you can't use it no way. Have some food, man. Have some stuff just ready, just in case. At least you have a little something. Then you can make everything else work. But not having nothing and talk somebody crazy because you got all these gas masks and stuff, man. You don't know what this country doing. Did you think we was gonna spend the first 2 weeks of a week or two of February talking about planes flying falling out of the sky? About just about everywhere? Coming off the heels of fires all across California. So I would say, family, be prepared. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So I went to her page, and yeah, she did a lot of traveling. But we fleeing You know, if you are not prepared to live in another person's country, they don't do like the U.S. has been doing, where they just kind of let you come and roam around. These other countries are going to put you back out of their country ASAP. And you're going to be over there past your welcome when they catch you because they know who you are. They know you're not from this land. They're going to get your information. They're going to say, oh, it's expired. And do like they did the Mexican chick in Mexico because she was not a Mexican citizen. They found out you've been here a couple weeks too long. Okay, cool. We're going to send you back and we're going to make you pay for your own bus ticket or your own flight. So family, don't. That's the other reason why I can't stand fleeing. Fleeing is so haphazard, half-assed, no thought process, nothing well thought out, nothing planned for. It's just oh shoot, it's getting hard. Run, man. Don't do that, family. Don't play yourself.
The US is getting real ghetto, so if you want to leave, these are the countries that'll pay you to move there. TikTok has been having my videos, so make sure you follow me on Instagram so you don't miss anything. Albanin is a small village in Switzerland, and they are paying per person for you to move there. For every adult, you'll get 25,000 Swiss francs, which is about 28,000 US. And then for every child, you'll get 10,000 Swiss francs, which is about 11,000 US dollars. So for your family of 4, you can get about 70K for moving to Switzerland. Now you'll have to commit to living there for a minimum of 10 years, and you need to live in a home that's worth at least 200,000 Swiss francs. If you don't,
Do you have a career that's going to allow you to do that? They're gonna pay you a little bit of money. Yeah, that's your down payment money for the house you're gonna live in. How you paying for that house? She must be tech, remote work. She got to be in tech. You got to be doing remote work for that to work. And here's the thing: what happens when your job decides to change rules? You got to come to the office. Oh shoot! Oh, I can't do that. I'm in Albany, Switzerland. When did you move to Albany, Switzerland? Oh, you're still making U.S. money, but you're in a different country. Taxes, how that's gonna work out? What about taxes in the current country you're in? What about when you need to? What about your work visa? All these things, fleeing don't work. That's why it's better to stay and fight. Fleeing is stupid. It's a coward's move. That's gonna put you in more trouble and get you gaffled up because your paperwork ain't straight. These other countries ain't playing. They ain't even playing with each other. Like you and if you are from what's that? Not Germany, Austria. You say you're in Austria, you go to Denmark, and they find your paper ain't right. They gonna send your ass back to Austria. You going back home, bro? They don't care. They don't care. They don't play that stuff. This fleeing energy. I don't know why folk think it's gonna work. It hasn't worked before. It's not gonna work
like the
now.
cold, you could move to a remote island in Greece. Now, this island is northwest of Crete, but every resident that moves there will get paid 500 euros every single month for the first 3 years that they live there. The island is very quiet and quaint, so if that's your vibe, check this out. Now, if you're a digital nomad, there are villages in Spain that'll pay you $3,500 to relocate there. Now, the cost of living in these villages ranges from 175 per week to 475, and some of the villages that are doing this are Bernaraba and Olite. Sardinia, Italy is also offering 15,000 euros to anyone who wants to move there. So you have to live there full time and register to be a permanent resident. And the money that they grant you must be used to either buy or renovate a home. Now, these are the Europe options, but if you want to see Asia, let me know in the comments.
I'm looking at her face, family. Yeah, she don't look like she's FBA. She's pretty sister. What y'all think? I think Jamaican. Think she an island girl, Caribbean. I think she Caribbean. Looking at the face structure and everything like that. So yeah, family, fellas, don't get caught up in the pretty girl that wants to flee. All right, she's gonna have your money messed up. You're gonna be gaffled up by the authorities over there. These places, you don't know if they're gonna really rock with you like that. They know 1 or 2 Negroes at a time, especially on vacation. That's one thing. 1 or 2 Negroes at the time, and then 2 or 3 more permanently living there. You may not get the reception you want.
Let me know in the comments.
just want to be clear about one thing. This is the only reason why I'm in Target. Auntie Tab. I ain't coming in here and spending my money on nothing that is not a black-owned brand. And that is what? Very good. Why? Because we got to take care of us. Y'all have a good night.
I love it. I love it. Even though some people, I give her some flack, rather, about her statements when Target was talking about, rolling back DI. And one sister I did a video with, she don't care about you. She care about her family. You're supposed to put your family first. You're supposed to make sure your house is good. It's business. If I got a good product, you like my product, I'm going to ask you, please support my product. If it's only going to be in this company's inventory for another month or two, I think it was February, March, April. That's not too. This February's about to be over. And this got March, and then April. A lot of companies won't be in there. A lot of black-owned companies won't be in Target, as far as I know, unless something changed. So I heard that issue with the shareholders getting sued and all that. We might deal with that in a different video. But I said before, we don't want our black family to have dead stock where they end up eating up their costs. And one sister from Livermore saying, hey, if we had to buy back everything we sold Target, we end up, we're going to be bankrupt. We're going to be, down bad. And usually the crash shots want you to do something silly like that and put yourself in the crux to be down bad like that. Oh, I got you knocked down a peg. Now I feel better. No, don't do that, family. People call it Hispanics freeloaders, but I've never seen one on the side of the road begging for money. Yeah, because y'all be sitting to the Home Depot begging for a job. Trying to get some work. And the only ones they would take, and still kind of take to this day, even though they shouldn't, are the ones that speak a little bit English, because you need to know you're going to listen. I'm just saying.
Well. Congratulations. Fantastic. I don't remember seeing that in the last 4 years. Limited 2 per customer because of a shortage. I check every week. If that price goes up 1 penny, I will make video after video after video.
Boy, they got the white folk tired. They got them tired of the BS. Like, look, we tired of this mess. Remember, I did a video. There was white women online crying about, there were nurses allegedly on TikTok publicly crying. My husband, he makes good money. He's on the board of director, but he's a director in his department. I'm a nurse, and we're struggling. And I'm like, white women publicly saying they're having a hard time on the internet, TikTok of all places. And I'm seeing different, white women. I don't see how. I'm budgeting, and I don't know what's going on. They feel like they about to have a panic attack. What? Y'all do know y'all in public on the internet, because usually they in black folk business. They always ask for black women. Those are some nice shoes. How'd you, where they from? So you can look up the price and see how you can afford it. So count your pockets. Not them telling and say, hey, look, we're struggling. Why? You're a white woman, right? Y'all are usually in somebody's business, not telling your own. That's how you know. That's how you know things have gotten to a really, really weird place in America.
You can pay your rent one time and it pays for the whole year. And the rent can be like $2,000. I mean, some people pay less, some people pay more. Meanwhile, we're over here paying thousands per month. There's no such thing as a credit score. Also, when you're trying to get a place to rent, you don't have to prove that you make 3 times the rent. Oh my gosh. You guys.
If it's like that, how come there are not more Ghanaians staying in Ghana? Nigerians staying in Nigeria. Um, who else be able to run their mouth? Not it was not Ethiopia. Sudanese staying in Sudan. If you got places like this, how come they okay? If you let's say Sudanese, we don't have like nothing like that. Okay, why don't y'all move to Ghana? Why is fleeing to America the default setting? Why not flee to another country in your continent that has been like this? It's supposed to be so nice. Why is it getting on a plane and leaving the continent entirely? The play, not let me go a couple states, a couple countries over, not states, but a couple countries over. Excuse me, James, or a couple countries south, or a couple countries north, or whatever. Why is that not the play for the fleers? I'm talking about the fleers, not the ones who are in the homeland or the continent, and they like, hey, look, I'm okay. It ain't popping here. I'm gonna go. It ain't popping in Congo. I'm gonna go up to uh Nigeria. No, it ain't popping in Nigeria. I'm gonna go to Ghana. If it ain't popping in Ghana, I'm gonna go to Burkina Faso. If it's not popping in Burkina Faso, I'm gonna go to Botswana or South Africa. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the ones that come over and flee and then try to talk down on us and then justify their fleeing. Why is not going to another country in your continent the default setting?
Latinos are not the only immigrants that are deported from the United States because of their immigration status. I've seen immigrants from Bulgaria, Romania, Pakistan, Canada, United Kingdom, Tunisia, Algeria, Jamaica, Trinidad, Guyana, people from all over the world. They also have been deported from the United States for various immigration violations. Either they've committed crimes or they've been caught being out of status or whatever their situation has been. Maybe they don't have relief to continue to stay in the United States, but there are other groups of people, immigrants from other countries, that are also deported back to their countries, not just Latinos.
And there you go. She looks Latino. When last name Samana, unless she's married. There might be a Latino name. So this is what I'm noticing this, and I can admit when I'm learning things, I'm noticing more Latino last names or Spanish last names that I didn't know exist because we know like you hear Gutierrez or Hernandez or something like that. You go, okay, but then you see these hyphenated ones that like seem like they're compound last names. Like damn, your whole last name is a sentence. So I don't know, but she looks like she could have some, Latin. Maybe she's Middle Eastern or whatever. But yeah, there you go from an immigration attorney's mouth. Everybody getting sent back as it should be. You out of status, send them back. You didn't come over here the right way, send them back. Oh, you ain't doing right. You breaking the law, send them back. If you not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're not on point. You didn't come over here on point, send them back.
Yesterday, 650 kids stayed home from school because they came up with the flu in Godley, Texas. There are only 3,000 students in Godley, Texas. The CDC is down. We are no longer in the World Health Organization. And 650 kids in one small city in Texas, out of 3,000 students, did not show up for school yesterday because they are all sick with the flu.
Let's look Godly, Texas. Let's see where it's at. It might be Lon Clay. She's mixed. Yeah, one of them peak and plum towns. You peek your head out the window, you plumb out of town. So it's not too far from Granbury, Joshua. So here's Burleson. For those of you who are familiar with the DFW area, Weatherford, Yeah, man, it looks like it's one of those enclaves, man. And we know, white folk, at least white folk have been showing over the course of the last 5 years or so, or more, on, and I'm talking about YouTube. I'm talking about what they've been posting online themselves, saying they don't watch like that. They might take a shower two times a week. They don't understand why they need to use wash rag, things of the nature. So if you living like that, your body more than likely you gonna have a compromised immune system. And this is Cleveland. That's how far it is from Cleveland. For those who want to know, if you are living like that and you live in this little small town like this, yeah, I can see how easily a bunch of kids, because kids general are nasty. Family, let's be real. Your kids under the age of 10, actually really under the age of 12, you typically don't want to drink behind them. You know what I'm saying? They be want to have some. Oh, here you go, mom. You know what I'm saying? They want to give you something to drink. Are they cup or whatever? And you're like, nah, because I'm pretty sure there's something floating in that water. That's why you don't want to let your kid get a sip, because there's always some slobber. They be sitting on the top of the soda. You be like, you can have it. How many times my mama did that to me? I know your mama did it. I know your pops did it. They be like, can you sit? Nah, come here. Bring a cup. And we pour you some. Oh, okay. You do realize that because they want your slobbery, snotty mouth on their drink. You got all these germs, snot, boogers crusted up. You probably didn't wash your hands like you're supposed to. Especially little boys when we young. We use the restroom. We hit the water. Don't really use soap like we supposed to. They want to play and touch and cough and be in people's faces. So if you got that going on and it's an enclave, I can see how a bunch of kids get sick. Kids nasty already. And then you add that it's probably a predominantly white area. Hold on, let's ask. Racial demographic. I'm asking wrong. It might even be Hispanic. 73% white, non-Hispanic. 16.6% white, Hispanic. And then other Hispanic. Oh, ain't no news. Ain't no news. That's yeah. We not even down there. Not like that. And 1.8%. Hey, okay, you probably got one that's married to somebody up here. So yeah, enclave habitually. As far as cleanliness, y'all are stating online that we don't wash like that. You don't use a towel, a washcloth when you do. And kids are just naturally nasty. Because they be ripping, running, playing. They don't pay attention to the boogers and snot. So 600 of them getting sick at a time. They probably eat each other's face. It is what it is, family. And I'm not denigrating anybody or talking bad about anybody. We just call a spade a spade. Make sure you guys check out the Library of Congress and get your documentation. You also need to have copies of your documentation. You need to have physical copies, 2 sets or even 3 sets of backups, digital backups. And I would say have a mini SD if you don't want to use the SD, or get a pack of SD cards. I think I bought a. I want to see if I can show you guys this. Um, and I'm still a little under the weather. That's why it's another reason why it took me a while to start doing videos when we got back, family. That drive back was crazy. We came from Memphis. It was cold. It was cold. It felt like 9 degrees coming out of Memphis. Then you get into Texas, and it had warmed up to about 25 degrees. And I don't know what it's supposed to have felt like because I didn't look. I'm gonna show you this because I bought this and I was supposed to use it for something different, but I got it. So Gigastone, you can do this. Get you a big pack, or you can get you something that writes a little faster. You can do 32 gig or whatever you need to do, family. Make sure you are on point. All right, you see, this is what 1, 2, 10 of them. Got a 10 pack. I haven't used yet. I need to start using for $55. For $56. There we go. But yeah, fam, we came back into town. long drive, made 3 stops. Never rent a Mitsubishi Outlander. Never, never, never rent that. That is the worst, twitchiest, unsettled chassis vehicle I've ever ridden in. I wish my big body wouldn't. I wish I wouldn't have tried to do my water pump at the last minute. Not water pump, but my power steering pump last minute. And I would have left it on because that would have been a much better ride. It would have handled the weight and the way the tires are. It would have been better over those potholes, the raggedy roads, and that ice. Because I literally said, fam, this is how bad it was. So there was a point where it had us do a detour to save about 7 minutes because they almost came to a standstill on the highway, and it's a whole bunch of trucks. And you're coming down 30 out of Memphis through Arkansas. Those you truck drivers, you know what I'm talking about. We coming out of there, so we turn off and we on the road. Why was there? There was truckers just. I moved over because they just kind of flying past me by at least about 10 to 15 miles an hour faster than I was. I had to go about 20 to 25 because the so-called super all-wheel control would have the vehicle like this. Then entire time it hit a little bit of ice and then tried to overcorrect, undercorrect, oversteer, and it was just the worst. There was somebody in a Chevy Sonic just driving in the same conditions, the opposite way. I'm like, I know they're going faster than me. I know they're not going fast. They just going. Me, I feel the back trying to come out a little bit. And I got, let me slow down. And then they try to overcorrect. And I'm like this. I'm like, oh God. Smallest gas tank I've ever seen. We literally had to fill up 3 times on the way up and 3 times on the way back. So yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Let me show you what it looked like. It looked like this. $41,000. I wish one of y'all would pay that much money for it. This is the worst mess to ever ride in. I don't care what you say. I don't care how cool you think you are. No. The only redeeming quality it had, was the adaptive cruise control when we were on dry-ish roadways. It would slow down as the vehicle slowed down or if a vehicle move over, and speed up as they speed up or the road would clear. But if it had to deal with potholes or any ice to or any water to ice to tarmac conditions, it would try to overcorrect each thing. It wouldn't just say, okay, if I'm losing control, correct. It just immediately try to fight whatever's going on. And I'm literally doing this, trying to make sure we don't go into an embankment. So family, once again, changes are coming. We enjoyed ourselves. The wings of fire. And we'll be in Memphis soon enough. Peace and Black empowerment.